I just wanna groove today. I'm in a very groovy mood. I actually feel, whatever, let's just start this. Hello folks, how you've been? All good? Perhaps all Christmassy? Ready to get some presents? What I know for sure is that we've already received some. December practically has just begun, and I personally can't really relate to all the results of the year charts because we still have one more full month for releases. The other thing though is that not everyone will put out their releases during that time unless they're holidays related. So yeah, but anyway, my personal music of the year chart has changed once again due to this one new release by one of my personal favorite artists. He's not only doing music but also does film and TV acting, writing comedy, and not only organizing festivals, I guess, developing some mobile apps, and lots of other stuff. His name is Donald Glover. He performs under the pseudonym Childish Gambino, and he's an incredibly talented guy. BINO has 2 official full-length albums, one quite goofy wordplay rapping like Camp from 2011, and a much more polished and within the genre experimental Because the Internet album from 2013. 2 years ago, oh my god, it has been already 2 years, he released an EP with a bunch of new tracks, which already sounded different in a way. It was this really mellow, melodic thing with quite distant, abrupt rapping and bare amount of hip-hop influence. September this year, Glover announced this very exclusive secret show, kind of like a festival camping thing, where no internet posting was allowed. Because practically, Gambino played his new release, his brand new music release in full, in front of the crowd. Covered in tribal patterns and glow-in-the-dark body paint. And just going full in on stage. I believe you can actually watch this performance in 360 by, oh my god, it's so loud. Yeah, but you can see the actual performance in 360 by downloading a special app called Pharos. This is very complicated. I think he also announced some sort of like a VR vinyl thing. Okay. Lucky witnesses of that performance later wrote that his new release is something absolutely different and something utterly insane. Now we have Awaken My Love album, and it is exactly how they've described it. Through the past 5 years or so, I thought that Childish Gambino will be always about hip-hop in some sort. But same stuff, I would think about Kanye West, or Kendrick Lamar, or Kid Cudi. And yeah, of course, there still are hip-hop artists. But in their current music, there are so many things from different genres. So many influences. They mix electronic, gospel, rock, country. They go slow, chill, and mellow, and then burst out with something huge and overpowerful. It's crazy. Gambino also went kind of in the same development pattern, let's call it that way. Listening to the very first single from this upcoming album, from like the very first 10-15 seconds of it, I kind of felt that it's not going to be a hip-hop record at all. And there are moments on Awaken My Love when you kind of want him to start rapping, at least a little bit, but he prefers not to. Instead, he sings in all the different ways. He sings about his personal life, his emotions, his son. He presents a spectrum of beautifully produced music. He suffers, he has fun, he goes nuts, and then go all relaxed. The album brings you on such a journey. It's ecstatic. The same kind of feeling I get from the cover of the album. Very interesting choice for a cover, by the way. It also includes some tribal elements, which I find interesting in the matter of this release, because I ain't heard no tribal in that record, so why is it there? I imagine some sort of ritual psychedelia behind it, and there's a lot of psychedelia in this album, so maybe this is kind of like a soundtrack to a modern tribal ritual, which works stronger than drugs and brings you to space. I don't know, I'm not sure. But I get this certain vibe from this cover. The album opens up with Me and Your Mama, track with some stunning buildup of gospel, which then transforms into this howling madness. A masterful put up of so many emotions at once. It's just hard to keep them all in this one tiny little track, even if it's 6 minutes long. This track keeps surprising you, and in a way, this is a great opener for an album like this, because the record itself is full of surprises. Tracks like Have Some Love and Boogieman transfer huge 70s funk aesthetic onto you. There are harmonized group vocals, kind of gospel-like. Lyrically, the theme is also kind of gospelish. Some funkadelic vibes. The main comparison is, of course, Can You Get to That? Some acoustic guitar, some electric guitar. The instrumentation on both tracks, brilliant, colorful, complex, and yet very smooth. Like, Zombies track is really fun in my opinion. I love this cinematic effect it has. Donald is a great actor, so there's no surprise with that. Vocally, he's kind of scared, terrified, and the song is a bit terrifying. But the whole thing is also very comical, so this is practically the brilliance of it. The old school sounding synth beats with sleek guitar riffs collapse with some modern day production tricks, like vocally, for example, all the synthesized parts, all the autotune around the first minute of the track. The next track on the album, Riot, is my absolute favorite. Criminally short, 2 minutes of mayhem, which actually sounds like heaven. It's full of different influenced elements, like there's a bit from Parliament, a bit from funkadelic. I guess the musicians who I think Donald himself invited to work on this track have a credit on that. The incredible George Clinton, Eddie Hazel, and Fuzzy Haskins are apparently on this, so, you know, figure it out yourself. The psychedelic energy of the track with the swinging guitars, rolling percussion, and BINO just losing his mind. It sounds alive. REDBONE, another single from the record, arguably one of the best tracks here. What I find the most interesting about this are the pitched vocals. They don't really break out, they go very smoothly with this easygoing 8-note drum line, some striking guitar and piano, and groovy lowrider bass. BINO sounds almost Prince-like, so beautifully androgynous that this track easily could be seen from any gender perspective. So far in the album, we are just kind of shocked by how surprising this release sounds, but listening to some of the lyrics of this album more carefully, you still can notice the same old Childish Gambino we all know, with some rhymes like, "You wanna make it right, but now it's too late, my peanut butter chocolate cake with Kool-Aid." Okay, it's just that now it's on this new age psychedelic funk. I've seen some people get really confused by this California track, the serenade to a girl who moves to the Golden State, which has this weird auto-tuned vocal delivery and some almost kitschy like instrumental full of various intriguing sounds. To me, again, this sounds like a fun track, like it meant to be comical. This way, I also like the placement of it in the record, as it sort of mixes up the mood, making it stop on this journey to watch an episode of Atlanta, perhaps, in some diner in the middle of nowhere with some people going crazy from the California heat. Overall, I just like the parody and no fucks given attitude on this. If this is an album for his newborn son, I bet something like California can actually make newborn babies laugh and groove a little bit, as far as they can. Just after that, we have my another absolute favorite, a magical track called Terrified, with some falsetto vocals, mysterious instrumental build-up, with later deep bass line, overall menacing tone, eventually dissolving into a lone keyboard, with some yet again classic BINO lyrics like, "I'm going to eat you alive, please don't find me rude, but I don't eat fast food." Okay, and also some beautiful female vocals by the end of the track. So good, so good. Baby Boy has same androgynous vocal delivery and some raspiness, fuzziness, this funkadelic vibe. This track kind of pairs up with the next one, The Night Me and Your Mama Matt, which doesn't include Clover at all. It's a fully minimalistic instrumental track with some brilliant electric riff, xylophone tinkering, and a lovely gospel choir. Stand Tall track is a closer on this record, It continues this heavy soul and funk influence, but occasionally presents something very much 21st century-like. The vocal delivery from Gambino, by the way, in this track, plus some background vocals, all this sounds so mesmerizing. Reminded me a lot of Frank Ocean, who I love with all my heart, so this is a compliment. Lyrically, it's just such an empowering track with some really strong messages. Musically, I really like the flute or the acoustic guitar kind of like out of nowhere. Some heavier psycho synths. The 6 minutes long closer track basically has everything. And it doesn't sound messy. It actually works fantastic. I'd even say that the whole album works fantastic. I didn't expect that from Gambino, but I was sure that he's going to surprise us in some way. And he did this, his third full-length album. Very different from his two previous ones and from all of his EPs. Probably his most cohesive, stylized, matured record. And it's so cool that it's so heavy funk and soul and psychedelic. It's incredible to see a music artist maturing in not so common for him music genres, you know? Not everybody can do that or make it sound like their very own. But here, Donald Glover, a man of many talents, a man who performs and writes comedy, who acts in drama, who creates a critically acclaimed TV show about music business and all the troubles of life. Glover, within his Childish Gambino project, managed to make it enjoyable. Fully enjoyable. I mean, I can't really even say that I like funk or soul music that much, I'm sorry. But I genuinely like this release and I think I might get more into music like this. And I thank BINO for that and just wish him to be even more talented than he already is. In the comments down below, as always, tell us your thoughts on this amazing release. Your favorite tracks, what worked for you, what really kind of didn't, all the shenanigans. Also, don't forget to like and just share this video with everyone you know, as well as to subscribe to our channel for more reviews and music world related videos. You know, a lot of people slept on Because the Internet for some reason. An incredible hip-hop album, by the way. Go listen to it. If you don't know this release, it's great. It was and it is great. But yeah, don't miss out on this one as well. Wake up, awaken, my love. Peace off.